2 days, we had a mind-boggling and time-whirling sessions on different aspects of economics, finance, and international business, starting from the gravity model for the as a beginner's choice to the extension of the model beyond what has been originally done, extending the different aspects of global trade with respect to energy, with respect to climate, with respect to industrialization, with respect to inflation, with respect to monetary policies, with respect to global economic trade blocks, the conflicts, the disruptions, the pandemic, all this if put together in one basket, the bubble I'm sure would look bigger than the size of the planet. But well, this gives us pleasure that everyone has got an opportunity to talk about in all contemporary and relevant fields. And we are thankful to our guest plenary speakers, Professor Dr. Sugata Marjit, Professor Richard Todd, Professor Marcelo Oliveira, for giving the specialized views. In addition, we also had Professor Kunal Rajgupta and others through the online sessions. We have been really enriched by their talk and identifying the future research gaps, which I'm sure that all of us can take it forward to carry out further research work. With these words, I would like to thank all the august audience here, and we hope that we would again meet. Our next round of EIITF will be in Delhi campus. It's a biennial conference, and we hope to see you there once again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. Now I would request Professor Joshi to deliver the valedictory address.
Professor Rangarajan, Professor Deepankar, Professor Rananja, Professor Vivek, very distinguished professors, scholars who have come from far off, and my dear students. I'm extremely privileged to be here on this, EITF, and as you are aware that it has gone a long way. I also had a privilege to attend some of the sessions, and which were very insightful. Some of the papers were very innovative, very outstanding, relevant, contemporary, and I wish that you take forward the issues which you have deliberated on research. There are a number of topics on which I think it has gone. The papers were presented. Uh, I personally think, which I may be wrong, that you should also focus on the research on the contemporary topic and also critically examine it before the mathematical calculations in the research. In the morning, you know, I was privileged to listen to one paper from Richard on the sustainability, and what was, his conclusion was that the developing countries suffer more because of the climate problem. Developing countries, he also showed in his graph that, 1 degree increase in temperature, we call it as a logarithmic scale, gives 10 times rise to the malaria. All those things are good scholarly research. But I also told him that we have a very different view, that, these research papers are also being used against the developing countries like India. In case that he was also advocating for the carbon board, carbon border management, tariff, in which, in case it goes in the European Union, it would increase the almost 30-35% tariff on the products imported from, and similarly for other developing countries. wherein the research says that developing countries are at more disadvantageous position in, sustainability, and it will make our product incompetitive in the European Union market. So I think all these things also be taken into account, wherein the paper justifies that if they put the only thing is the tariff on the products coming from the countries like India. I incidentally differ with that. And I also said that if you don't trust us, we have got a great supporter Donald Trump now. There are pros and cons for that. Uh, Another thing is that some of the papers were talking of certain regulations like the EU deforestation regulation, which I think most of them are justified. But if you look into, because I worked a lot in the last my 2 years absence from IFT to on the plantation like coffee, and last year we had the World Coffee Conference in India in Bangalore. More than 100 countries participants were there. I was also part of this. And there I had scholars in my panel who came from Harvard and all sorts of those schools. I told them that you consume the coffee. In America, you consume the coffee mostly in Europe, which is the largest, but they don't grow any coffee. They determine the prices in the market. And therefore, I am not very sure that how many of you know about the implementation of deforestation. It talks of the traceability of this coffee coming, like most agriculture product. Now to have traceability, they also want a data, farm-wise data where this farm is located. Now with this farm-wise data, we also, collaborated with ISRO, which gives the data from satellite farm-wise. Now there was a problem that the way India has got the satellite data, I don't think the countries like Colombia and Ghana have got those data for the coffee. Now problem is coming is the security of the country. Can we give this farm-wise data to a foreign country wherein we also have got a lot of sensitive establishments? So I think at that it got us stuck. And these cost of compliance of these regulations is very high. So I think all these things, I'm not very sure because, so what I think is that, it's great that, we have a great mathematical calculation, but we also need to understand the reality. Today, if you look into, and it is so good that, the European Union, which I think never wanted to, you know, appreciate the Indian view. Now I think after the new change in America, I am sure you know that it is almost 30, 39, 30, 40%, the emphasis on the new election in America was on economy. And economy, the only thing was protectionism. Wherein the free trade theories, we have already talked about free trade is beneficial to all. And free trade is a unpalatable word in whole of Europe. It's unpalatable in whole of America. And free trade was marketed. Professor of marketing, I only know marketing. Marketing by the Britain to find out market for their products in India. And then the theory of comparative advantage came. है कि आपको वही बनाना चाहिए वो आप करते हो है अमेरिका became the largest exporter on agriculture. Then you had the Leontief paradox. Where some justification kept on, and lot of theories have come, which I think I am less aware of, you know more. And many economists got Nobel Prizes on free trade from a country which restricts free trade. And I think it is top of protectionism. So, in case our theoretical, framework is also related to the what is happening in real world, and IFT has got a great potential. I'm so happy to know that one of the MA economics students from IFT, Kolkata, she got a third rank in the Indian Economic Service. It's a matter of pride for all of us. I wish more such to come. And I think these things we can talk later. But one thing which I got a privilege to meet each one of you. So rather than having a formal meeting, I decided to meet each one of you. तो मैं यहाँ बाहर बैठ जाता था जो आते थे उनसे बात करता रहता था. I got a lot of insight. I met faculty, I met a staff, I met a students, and so I am going with a lot of insight, not only from this room but outside this room. And please understand what you learn in the institute is not only in the classroom but outside the classroom. Students learn more from their peers than they learn from their faculty. Because, they are the people who influence your mind. So that is, I think, additional benefit एक के साथ एक फ्री है. तो यहाँ पे तो मैंने आपका
As I call the name of the paper presenters, please come and collect your certificates. Miss Moitri Dash, Mr. Dhiraj Kumar, Miss Monica Yadav, Mr. Rahul Kumar, Dr. Abdul Rashid Ahmed, Miss B. Kirtika, Miss Shomini Ghosh, Mr. Ajay Kumar, Mr. Chaitanya Khurana, Dr. Rahul Sen, Dr. Sadhna Srivastav, Dr. Vikas Ranjan Mishra, Miss Neha Gupta, Miss Chalulika Sharma, Miss Ritu Singh, Mr. Harkajit Banerjee, Dr. Shagnik Bakshi, Mr. Manish Roy Pradhani, Dr. Paramjit Kaur, Miss Shivani Kushwaha, Miss Ritika Karan, Mr. Shami Ahmed Noble, Dr. Ashutosh Kumar Srivastav, Miss Soni Agarwal, Miss Simran Rathi, Miss Anjum Sheikh, Dr. Manpreet Kaur, Dr. Sumanta Bhattacharya, Miss Gunjan Kumari, Dr. Aishwarya Harichandan, Mr. Obhirup Chakraborty, Mr. Atul Kumar, Mr. Atul Kumar, Mr. Pradeep Kumar R, Dr. Sumanta Bhattacharya, Mr. Dhananjay Kumar Rai, Miss Shreya Roy, Mr. Shomrat Sadhukon, Dr. K.P. Carmen. Dr. Rahul Sen, Dr. Tiparvo Mukherjee, Dr. Ramesh Dangal, Mr. Hariom Arora, Dr. Deepa Bhandari, Dr. Joanna, Ms. Upasana Das, Ms. Deepika M. Rajan, Ms. Purvi Jhawar, Mr. Ganapati Mandali, Ms. Dviti Mukherjee People, Mr. Mustajab Khatib, Dr. Alexandra Parteka, Dr. Shrimoy Ganguly, Dr. Orunava Bandyopadhyay, Dr. Sanjeev Vasudevan, Ms. Reshma Gigi, Dr. Abdul Teheri, Mr. Shukran Bojana, Ms. R. Haley Ahmed, Mr. Anirban Shagnal, Mr. Artish Banerjee, Mr. Nikhil Rangle, Mr. Kaushik Ghosh, Mr. Agnimitra Chatterjee, Mr. Kaushik Mondal, Ms. K. Vaishnavi Batra, Dr. Shomdeep Chatterjee, Ms. Shreya Mishra, Ms. Neha Gupta, Professor Shomesh Kumar Mathur, Professor Julian Chase, Neha Gupta,
who has not received the certificate and contact our organizing team. Okay, that's right.
Now we will distribute the Best Paper Awards. The second Best Paper Award goes to Mr. Hariom Arora and Professor Ruchi Sharma for presenting a research paper on heterogeneous Chinese imports and productivity in Indian manufacturing, examining competition, catch-up and synergy. The first Best Paper Award goes to Mr. Anirban Shanmal for presenting a research paper on Caught in the Crossfire, How Trade Policy Uncertainty Impacts Global Trade. I think Mr. Shanmal is not here. Now I would request Professor Bhattacharya to give the vote of thanks.
I need to thank, not to thank. That is my crisis. Thank you everyone. And Professor Joshi, Professor Rangarajan, Simon Kansina, and my own friend Vivek, and to all the faculty members, to all the administrative staff, especially I think Sumana did a huge job in the logistics sector. And so special thanks to her because suddenly everything fell in place and there were no hitches. And our IT team led by Atul, Atul, thank you. reaches at all. Right. Thank you very much. And of course, the Ivan, Eli, and the whole administrative team to our students. Now it is amazing how much capability you have in store. But mind you, we have recorded that and we will jack up teaching to the extent of this that we know that if you are given enough motivation, you can do a lot. So you will be given extra motivation a little bit in the class as well. And I think you deserve all that. Okay, thank you. As by teaching hard things, by setting hard questions that they cannot answer easily, by getting marks more difficult for them, so that it is more difficult for them because they will then work hard in school. So thank you all the students, especially our PhD students. Can you please come up on the stage, please? All our PhD students, please. And where are the rest? Come, come, come. Yes. No one else. No one else. So they were entrusted with our MA students. And so they were the didis and the dadas who were controlling all these, and a big thanks to them because a lot of effort came from them, and there is a lot of effort that they have put in, which is unbelievable. Okay, thank you. And then to our Noor and Manjana, two of the people who have directly worked with me, and I know the extent to which they have worked to make this successful. It's very difficult work, was what I should say. I mean, no one records these things, but without them, this uh, conference would never have been possible at all. Starting from letters, sending letters to all of invitation letters to all the school, colleges, and universities, keeping track of them, looking at each year, how many papers have come, giving continuous updates to me. Then all those, and to Indrila especially for the schedule among the faculties. I began to Indrila because Indrila, I think almost single-handedly, this was a very difficult schedule to prepare. Let me tell you, I have done this before in IIFT conferences as well. It's a difficult thing. So many papers, so many tracks, so many discussions, so many track chairs. You have to know a lot of people. You have to put the right people in the right place. You have to arrange the papers in a way so that you can give a heading to the sessions. It's not an easy job. Let me tell you, many of you would have done that job. And she did this marvelous so anything like that. Very good, Vila. Thank you, Vila, for this great job. Uh, so thank you in general also to our peons, all of them who have given marvelous support to our uh, housekeeping staff, who have given us marvelous support to our uh, security staff, who have done a wonderful job here at the gates. So everyone from A to Z, it's very rewarding to see such a huge level of cooperation among all ranks of the staff together working and bringing out something which became a success. Thank you very much.
Thanks. We are ending the 9th EIITF with a grand success. Have a safe and happy journey, everyone.